Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring the Bloodlines and Black Magic core rulebook. If you haven't seen the other parts of this review, please check out the playlist in the description below. This is a role-playing game of modern occult adventures. This time we are going to take a look at 3 of the bloodlines. Let's start with the Dragon Bloodline. If you pick this bloodline for your character, you get a bonus to dexterity and a really good bonus to hit points. The Dragon Bloodline is ancient, a story woven into nearly every culture on every continent. This story changes with each telling, but is always keen to include several important facts, reminding its members they are both ancient and powerful, capable of ruling nations. Dragon-blooded individuals manifest snake-like and draconic qualities in their auras, often which take patterns that appear like scales. Some dragon-blooded humans manifest their connection to this energy as a flickering gold, silver, and onyx in their auras. This is sometimes accompanied with the smell of the ocean. Let's talk about some of the abilities of this bloodline. You have Cloud Dragon's Secret. You have always sought out the high places and have never imagined the danger of a fall. You know the Cloud Dragon's Secret, which manifests in several ways. This bloodline ability has 3 levels of attunement. So for example, in the first level, you may cast the spell Featherfall as a cantrip. When you cast Featherfall as a cantrip, you may only target yourself and the spell's duration is halved. But at level 3, you will learn the spell Gust of Wind. And we will talk about magic in a future part of this review. Next we have the Dragon's Gaze. You study everything that comes under your gaze, judging how best to respond long before others realize you have caught on. This has 3 levels of attunement. In level 1, when you study someone or something, you do so with a level of intensity that most people find unnerving. Anyone who makes insight checks against you does so with a disadvantage. And for example, at level 3, you learn the spell Disarm the Dangerous. Charisma is your spellcasting ability score for this spell. You have things such as Ouroboros Blessing. You have always found the cold invigorating, especially when it's dangerously cold. You have resistance to cold damage. This has 3 levels of attunement. In level 1, Ouroboros Blessing improves, granting you the ability to completely ignore some attacks that deal cold damage. And at level 3, your understanding of the Great Serpent and the cold black spaces it hunts increases. You gain immunity to cold damage. Next we have the Dream Bloodline. You get a bonus to luck with this bloodline, and you also have decent hit points. The Dream Bloodline lineages are ancient in all lands, but are greatly diminished and under constant, often blatant assault. Their compounds are assaulted in the middle of the winter, cameras rolling, while the eldest spirits of the ancient places continue to carve out small domains, working with local shamans to use their realms to wage hidden battles. Dream-blooded characters enjoy a connection to the astral plane and its pockets of dream-fueled bliss that manifests as twinkling stars, darkness, and clouds that play into the individual's larger aura. Dream-blooded auras range from the bright orange of night's raging fire to the deep purple of the vast savannas at dusk. Dream-blooded heroes are sometimes accompanied by the muted sounds of the rushing winds, signaling some distant, far-off place. Let's talk about some of the abilities of this bloodline. You have Dawn's Vision. Dream-blooded heroes have excellent vision, especially during dusk and dawn. You have 3 levels for this ability. At level 1, for 1 hour during dawn and 1 hour during dusk, you gain advantage on perception skill checks. Likewise, the distance of your vision improves to 60 feet. And at level 3, when you invest your 3rd attunement slot into this bloodline ability, your vision improves to a total distance of 120 feet. Next we have Dream-Soaked Strength. The people of the various dream-blooded lines have long tapped the astral plane for power, pulling from imagination what others have earned on longer, harder paths. At level 1, you learn to redirect your inner memories and dreams, using those as a source of power. You may apply your Wisdom score modifier as a bonus to a Strength saving throw. You must complete a short rest before you can use this ability again. And when it comes to level 3, your strength actually goes up by 1. Then we have the Dream Walker. Dream Walkers live in the liminal, touching both the waking and sleeping worlds with ease. Just like all the others, there are 3 levels for this ability. At level 1, you gain advantage on saving throws that put you to sleep, such as the sleep spell, or that knock you unconscious. And at level 3, you become immune to the sleep spell and any other spell or effect that puts you to sleep. Then we have the Fey Bloodline, giving you a bonus to Charisma and a small bonus to hit points. The Fey Bloodline traces its roots to the heart of Gaia herself, enjoying connections to the natural world few others even understand. Although many outsiders assume this connection to the Fae would promise some innate connection between the two, the fact that their blood has been solid in humans leaves most of the fair folk angry with such humans. They neither appreciate nor desire this connection. In fact, some scholars theorize that some of the older stories of fairies stealing babies from their families in earlier centuries tells another story, suggesting that the Fae once tried to end this line directly. Let's talk about some of their abilities. You have the Book of Green. You know a little of the forest's magic. Like all the other abilities, there are 3 levels. At level 1, when you make a ranged spell attack with the cantrip Produce Flame and deal damage to a target, you may spend a bonus action to cause the target to catch fire unless it succeeds on a dexterity saving throw. If it catches fire, it takes additional damage. At level 3, when you cast the spell Pass Without Trace, you do not need to maintain concentration, and the duration is extended to 4 hours. You do not need to cast this spell in a higher level spot to do this. You also have Eyes of the Night Queen. You can see perfectly in dim light and darkness, out to 30 feet with little problems. And when you activate Pierce the Veil, you can detect other Fey-blooded humans within 100 feet, whose auras glow a faint green, provided you can see them, and they have not otherwise hidden or disguised their auras. Fey-blooded people manifest auras with strong connections to nature. These individuals tend to have auras that range from black to green, although these auras always touch the earth in some way. At level 3, your ability to see in the darkness doubles to 60 feet. Additionally, when you activate Pierce the Veil in a rural or natural area, you gain a bonus to those checks. You also have Thorn Skin. Your strong connection to nature manifests as thicker skin and a strange ability to avoid several kinds of natural, non-magical damage. There are 3 levels. At level 1, your connection to your bloodline ability strengthens, granting you resistance to bludgeoning and piercing damage. At level 3, you manifest a true measure of your ancestry's resistance to the weapons of the world. You gain immunity to damage caused by bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing. You choose one. So you are immune to these types of damage as long as it comes from non-magical weapons. And this concludes this part of the review for today. As you can see, these abilities are quite subtle, but very characteristic, very thematic for each of the bloodlines. And there are plenty more. And I didn't tell you about the intermediate levels, that is level 2. Just to give you an example, I gave you the weakest and strongest effect, and there are other abilities that allow you to move through different terrains. Some others allow you to intimidate your enemies, although like I said, they are quite subtle. In the case of the Dragon-Blooded, they are quite focused on freedom and using knowledge and using your eyes. In the case of the Dream-Blooded, they are all about working with dreams and communicating with others through the astral. Concerning the Fey-Blooded, they are quite versatile, but they mostly have to do with resistances and some charm-based abilities as well. Thank you for watching this part of the review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending drive-thru RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.